Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Inner Love Messages. I'm Sarah, and whether this is your first time here or you've been with me for a while, I'm so happy you've joined me tonight. If you're already part of this growing community, welcome back. It's always a blessing to connect with you. Tonight's message is a special one. It's a no-contact reading, straight from the energy of your person. We're going to pull some cards and tap into their current feelings, their perspective on your connection, and any heartfelt messages that may be trying to reach you through the silence. So let's open up the space and receive whatever wants to come through. The first card that came out is called Beyond What You Can See. And wow, the energy around this card is incredibly powerful. There's this deep feeling that something important has been hidden from view, something your person hasn't been able to fully recognize or understand until now. It's almost as if they were standing at a crossroads, about to make a choice based on fleeting emotions or temporary confusion, not realizing the bigger picture. They've been influenced by what they could see on the surface without tapping into the deeper truths of your bond. That misalignment almost led them down a path that didn't truly reflect their heart or soul. Right now, they may come across as distant or emotionally checked out, and I know that can be difficult to witness or feel. But what's actually happening beneath that quiet exterior is something far more meaningful. It feels like the universe itself is trying to shake them awake, urging them to look past the illusions and surface-level distractions so they can reconnect with the deeper truth that's always existed between you. There's a spiritual pull around them, almost like divine hands are gently nudging them to pay attention to what truly matters. They're being asked to slow down, to listen, and to truly see, not with their eyes, but with their soul. It's as though they're standing on the edge of a breakthrough. They can feel that there's something deeper just out of reach, a truth or insight that would bring everything into focus. But that final piece, that one spark of clarity, still feels hidden. This is frustrating for them, being so close to understanding but not quite there yet. The energy is full of tension, but not in a chaotic way. It's more like the quiet pressure before a moment of revelation. They're being urged to question what they've always believed, to let go of outdated perceptions, and to dig deep into the core of what they feel when they think of you. This awakening they're experiencing is subtle but incredibly transformative. It's not something external they can point to. It's happening within them, a spiritual shift that they can't fully explain. They're being guided inward, and all roads seem to lead back to you. Not just you as a person, but your energy, your essence, the part of you that transcends physical appearance and touches the soul. They're being pulled toward your inner light, that sacred part of you they may have overlooked before because they were too focused on the outside world. Your connection is calling to them in a way they can no longer ignore. It's becoming clear to them that there is more to this bond than they ever allowed themselves to believe. They're beginning to separate who you are energetically from who you are physically. This shift is asking them to feel your presence on a spiritual level, to connect with your soul rather than the circumstances or stories they've held on to in their mind. And in doing that, something inside them is changing. Their heart is opening and their perspective is expanding in ways they didn't know were possible. They're learning to stop fixating on the past interactions or surface-level memories, and instead are being shown the depth of your connection, the timeless, soulful bond that's always been there. Even if they can't articulate it, they're starting to recognize that this isn't an ordinary connection. There's something sacred about it, something that requires them to slow down and truly feel. It's not about analyzing anymore, it's about surrendering to what they've always sensed but never fully understood. This card tells us that a major transformation is taking place within them. They're moving away from surface-level thinking and stepping into a more spiritual way of seeing you and this relationship. They're being asked to look inward, to reflect on how your energy has impacted them, and to recognize that their connection with you is more than attraction, more than words, more than time or space. It's about soul recognition, something that goes beyond logic and lands in the heart. Even if there's been distance between you two, and even if you're wondering how they're seeing you during this time apart, know this: their perspective is shifting. It's evolving every day. What matters right now isn't what you say or do. It's the energetic thread that exists between you both. That's where their focus is being guided. They're being shown not just you, but the essence of your connection. This experience is helping them realize that the energy between you has a life of its own, one that continues to move and evolve, even in silence. This journey they're on is deeply spiritual, even if they don't have the words to describe it that way. It's not about religion or labels, it's about being touched by something greater than themselves. Something unseen is influencing their thoughts and emotions, and whether you're in contact or not, the bond between you is still very much alive. They're feeling it, they're sensing you, and this energetic presence is helping to guide them inward to discover the parts of themselves they've been ignoring for far too long. If you're wondering how they're experiencing this time apart, it's not just about missing you. It's about being invited to understand who you truly are. This time of separation is less about what you've done or said, and more about the inner process they're going through. They're being pulled toward a deeper awareness, a more spiritual way of seeing this bond, and it's revealing parts of your connection they never allowed themselves to believe in before. Before I go on, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. If you feel moved by this reading and you appreciate the energy and care I pour into these messages, feel free to leave a super thanks as a small token of love. It truly means the world to me. Back to the message. What's happening now isn't just about the present moment. It's a deeper unfolding. There's something about your energy that continues to draw them in, almost like you're part of a sacred agreement between souls. This isn't random. It's part of a higher orchestration, a spiritual process that's nudging them to grow and reflect. And through this growth, they're starting to examine themselves in a way they never have before. They're discovering aspects of their own spirit, their emotional world, and their connection with you that are profoundly revealing. It's almost like the universe is gently peeling away the layers, helping them to see what's been true all along. This journey isn't just about you, it's about their soul's evolution, and the more they surrender to this process, the more clearly they begin to understand the depth of your role in their life. Your connection isn't something that can be defined by traditional terms. It's something that transcends understanding, and the universe is helping them open their heart to that realization. There may still be confusion within them, especially when it comes to understanding you and your actions. They might feel perplexed by how you move through life or by the way your energy affects them. But their curiosity isn't about judging or trying to control. It's a yearning to know you more deeply, to understand your why, not just your how. They're being led to explore the layers of your soul, and in doing so, they're waking up to truths that were always there, just hidden beneath the surface. They're being spiritually guided because on their own, they may never have truly seen you for who you are. Without this divine nudge, they might have missed the beautiful subtleties of your essence, but something greater is at work here. This isn't just a coincidence or a fleeting phase. It's a part of a much larger, cosmic plan. Your connection is sacred, and they're finally beginning to see that. If you've been feeling their energy lately, even if you can't explain why, you're not imagining it. There's something happening behind the scenes, something they may not even be fully aware of yet. It's like they're observing you from afar, feeling the weight of moments they overlooked, realizing just how much your presence has always meant to them. And that realization is quietly reshaping everything. There's a growing sense of awareness within your person, even if they aren't fully conscious of it yet. They might not be putting it into words or expressing it directly, but something deep inside them is shifting. This connection between you is unfolding whether they understand it or not. It's something beyond their control, something that's quietly guiding them without their full awareness. They might not realize that they're receiving spiritual nudges, but those nudges are there, gently encouraging them to see things differently, especially when it comes to the bond they share with you. Their energy right now is cautious and observant. They're paying close attention to every interaction, every moment you share, and every energetic shift. It's almost like they're being pulled to look deeper, not just at what's happening on the surface, but at the invisible threads connecting the two of you. They're in a space of quiet discovery, trying to make sense of a connection that clearly goes far beyond what they first imagined. The guidance they're receiving, whether from the universe, their higher self, or spiritual forces, is gently shaping how they see you. It's helping them view your love story through a much wider, more soulful lens. The truth is, this connection feels destined. And though they may still be figuring it all out, they're beginning to embrace that idea more each day. There's a strong message that wants to come through now, and it's simple yet powerful. You are my weakness. If they could be completely honest, they'd probably tell you that there have been times when they thought about walking away, not because they don't care, but because the intensity of what they feel can be overwhelming. There's a need within them to protect their heart, to create distance when things get too emotionally charged. Especially if this is someone with a more masculine energy, chances are they keep their emotions tightly guarded. Vulnerability doesn't come easily to them, and when they start to feel too exposed, they instinctively pull back. It's not about hurting you, it's about managing what feels to them like emotional overload. But when it comes to you, that strategy just doesn't work. You've become their soft spot in the most beautiful way. Through their spiritual growth, they've tried to separate themselves from your energy, hoping that space would bring clarity. And yet, the more they try to detach, the clearer it becomes. They can't shake you off. There's something about your presence, your essence, that feels woven into their very soul. It's as though walking away from you would be like leaving a part of themselves behind. And in that realization, they've come to see that their feelings for you are not only deep, but transformational. You represent something they've never experienced before, something real, profound, and impossible to ignore. And here's the thing, it's not one-sided. This weakness they feel, it's something you likely feel too. You might have tried to walk away yourself. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'm done," more than once. But with them, it's never that simple. No matter how far you try to go, something always draws you back. This bond has a way of staying with you. It's more than just love, it's a shared frequency, an energetic pull that defies logic or explanation, and that's why, no matter how many times they may try to leave, they can't. Deep down, they know you're not just someone passing through their life. You are their soul's counterpart, the missing piece they didn't even realize they were searching for. And once that realization sinks in, it becomes impossible to forget. You've both been on this journey before. Maybe not in this exact way, but in soul terms, these cycles feel familiar. And your person is finally starting to see that. They're beginning to understand the rhythm of your connection. The emotional highs and the sudden, sometimes painful lows. There may have been times when everything between you felt solid and unbreakable, only to slip into silence or distance without warning. But it's never been about rejection or lack of care. This connection doesn't follow ordinary rules. It's being guided by divine timing, by forces neither of you can fully control or predict. And often, the pieces only make sense when you look back. In the moment, it might feel confusing or frustrating, but over time, a pattern emerges, one that's deeply tied to both your growth and your awakening. This uncertainty can feel especially heavy for your person. The way the connection swings between deep intimacy and sudden distance can stir up a lot of inner conflict. They find themselves questioning everything, trying to understand why this relationship doesn't look or feel like any other they've known. And that's where things can get tricky. When they start comparing what you two share to their past experiences, they're trying to apply rules that simply don't fit. Your bond isn't something that can be measured against others. It stands in a category of its own, one that can't be explained by typical relationship dynamics. That's when the universe steps in, gently reminding them that what you share is sacred, unique, and unlike anything they've experienced before. For someone with masculine energy, this can be deeply unsettling. They often crave something tangible, something solid that they can see and hold on to when things get confusing. They want certainty, clarity, something to ground themselves in. But the nature of this connection refuses to be boxed in that way. It's fluid, spiritual, ever-changing, and they're slowly learning to surrender to that. It's a lesson in letting go of control, of expectations, of needing to have all the answers right now. The more they release their grip, the more they begin to trust that what you share is real, even if it doesn't always follow a logical path. This surrender isn't easy for them. They've likely been taught to see love in certain ways, to look for specific signs, certain markers of commitment or stability. But this journey with you is inviting them to step into something much deeper, and this is where your energy, as the divine feminine, comes into play. You are the light that calls them inward, the one who sees beyond the physical, into the truth that lies beneath the surface. You are helping them awaken. You're asking them, without even saying a word, to trust in their intuition, to feel the energy rather than analyze it, to believe in the invisible threads tying you together. And if you're listening right now, let this be a gentle reminder. If you want to stay connected with us and become part of this beautiful soul family, make sure to subscribe by tapping the join button. Now, back to the heart of this message. The connection you share isn't just intense, it's electric, spiritual, and all-encompassing. It's not something that exists only in your mind or heart. You feel it in your body, in your soul, in the way your energy shifts around each other. There's a sacred sensitivity in how you respond to one another. Every glance, every word, every energetic pull has a ripple effect. And if you embody the feminine energy in this dynamic, you likely feel it all so deeply. You notice every shift, every subtle change. You feel the undercurrents long before they rise to the surface, and slowly, the masculine is beginning to realize just how profoundly this connection touches you. They may not always show it, but they're starting to feel it too. They're starting to see how deeply your energy is intertwined with theirs. Even if they still struggle with impulsive reactions or the confusion this bond sometimes stirs in them, they're learning from each cycle. Every experience, no matter how chaotic or confusing, is bringing them one step closer to understanding the truth of what you share. The path won't always be smooth. There will still be moments of uncertainty, perhaps even fear. But beneath all of that, there's a quiet truth that never wavers, a truth that grows stronger with each step forward. What your person wants you to know, whether they say it out loud or not, is that they feel this just as much as you do. The longing, the desire, the aching sense of missing you during times of separation, it's all there. And in those moments when life pulls you apart, when silence settles in or distance grows, it's rarely random. Often, it's the universe stepping in, creating space for you both to grow, to heal, to evolve in your own way. But during those separations, your person feels it too. The emptiness, the ache, the longing, the same void that you carry, they carry it too. Their emotional landscape is more complex than they let on. They spend time reflecting on the connection, wondering why it has such a hold over them, why it stirs up feelings that nothing else ever has. One moment they're overcome with the need to be near you, and the next they're pulling away, lost in their own emotional storms. This tug of war within them doesn't mean they don't care. On the contrary, it's because they care so deeply that they become overwhelmed. Sometimes they react from a place of fear or confusion, not love. And those reactions may feel hurtful or distant, but they aren't born from a lack of feeling. They're born from emotional overwhelm and an old pattern of self-protection. You awaken something powerful in them, something they're not used to feeling. And when that happens, it can bring their fears, their insecurities, and their ego to the surface. Their instinct might be to run, to detach, or to shield themselves. But beneath all of that noise, their heart knows the truth. And the truth is, they love you. Deeply, fiercely, and in a way that's unlike anything they've ever known before. There's a deep affection your person holds for you, though they may struggle to express it. What's happening within them is an emotional tug of war. The depth of this connection overwhelms them at times, leaving them unsure how to process what they feel or communicate it in a way that makes sense, even to themselves. A big part of what they want you to understand is that you're not the only one who's had questions. They've wondered about this connection too. Why you affect them so deeply, why the pull towards you feels unlike anything they've known, and why being around you brings up emotions they can't always make sense of. These thoughts echo in their mind, leaving them caught between clarity and confusion. What might surprise you is that they've wrestled with the same doubts you've had. They've questioned whether what they're feeling is real or if it's just something passing. But even in their moments of denial or avoidance, the truth of this bond is undeniable. It leaves a mark that lingers no matter how much they try to rationalize it away. They've also been receiving signs, synchronicities that keep pointing them back to you. Whether it's your birthday, a memory you both share, or subtle, symbolic reminders, the universe seems to be gently nudging them, whispering that there's something sacred here. These signs aren't random. They're specific and emotionally charged, pulling them back into awareness of your connection. Even when they try to stay grounded in logic or distraction, they may not always understand why these signs keep surfacing, but they sense the weight and significance of them. It's as if the universe itself is guiding them to see you, truly see you, and to remember what this relationship means on a soul level. That said, the connection is highly sensitive, rich in emotion, yes, but also easily stirred into intensity. Both of you are affected by this depth. It's not uncommon for emotions to rise suddenly, sometimes feeling like waves too big to manage, but it's not about intentional harm. These triggers are simply reflections of how deeply tuned in you are to one another. The closer you are on an energetic level, the more amplified everything becomes. Love, longing, fear, even pain. It's like standing at the edge of something vast and beautiful, yet it comes with its own vulnerability. But these emotional spikes are also opportunities to better understand one another. They're windows into how deeply this relationship affects your person, revealing feelings they may not show outwardly. If this message resonates with you, it's likely because your connection is guided by something greater than earthly logic. This isn't just a typical surface-level relationship. For a while, your person may have tried to treat it as one approaching it from a practical mindset, trying to fit something vast into something small and familiar. That's where the tension comes in, trying to force a spiritual connection into a box it was never meant to occupy. This mismatch has led to misunderstandings, delays, and a lot of emotional confusion. They tried to follow a script, but this connection doesn't follow any script. It moves in its own rhythm, guided by something divine and timeless. Though they've always felt the energetic pull, they may have tried to filter it through logic, focusing only on what made sense in the material world. But no matter how grounded they tried to stay, this connection refused to be defined by everyday rules. It doesn't obey logic because it was never meant to. So if you've been feeling this emotional back and forth, know that it's because both of you have been trying to navigate a spiritual relationship while living in a world that doesn't always make space for such things. Right now, though, something is shifting. Your person is beginning to see you differently, not just in the way you appear in the physical world, but in your energy, your soul essence. It's as if their eyes are finally adjusting to a light that was always there, but which they hadn't fully seen before. Your presence is becoming more vivid to them. Not just the outer version of you, but the internal depth that radiates from your spirit. They're starting to grasp that who you are goes far beyond what they once perceived. It's no longer about labels or expectations. It's about soul truth. And this realization is opening them up to a new kind of clarity, one that doesn't demand that this connection be molded into something normal. This awakening is influencing how they see themselves too. They're starting to break free from the conditioning of what love is supposed to look like. They're moving away from the idea that relationships must follow a set pattern and toward a deeper understanding of what it means to love authentically, from the soul. This isn't just changing the way they see your connection, it's changing the way they see their life. They're awakening to the need for more alignment, more truth, more emotional honesty. This new clarity is reaching every corner of their being, helping them make choices that reflect who they truly are, rather than who they thought they were supposed to be. But this transformation hasn't come easily. There's been divine intervention here, some higher force that has stepped in to get their attention, whether it came through another person, a powerful dream, or more synchronicities. They've been shown something they can't ignore. They've been urged to go beyond what they can see, beyond what they can touch, and to recognize the soul bond that exists between the two of you. Before this awakening, they made decisions based on what was visible, staying rooted in the safety of the known. But now, their awareness is expanding. They're starting to understand that this connection defies the limits of the physical world. With this newfound awareness, they are beginning to approach the connection with more reverence. What once seemed ordinary is now revealing itself as something extraordinary. They're realizing this isn't just another relationship, it's something sacred. And while this new awareness is beautiful, it's also confronting. They're being asked to sit with truths that were once buried, and that process can bring about a lot of internal conflict. It's likely they've paused, stepped back, or reconsidered recent choices, not out of indifference, but because their heart and soul are demanding something more honest and intentional from them. This message also feels especially directed toward the divine feminine. If you felt confused or overwhelmed by the emotional waves this connection stirs in you, you're not alone. Sometimes your energy affects your masculine counterpart so deeply that it triggers responses even they don't fully understand. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to how powerful your presence is in their life. Your energy isn't something they can walk away from. No matter how much distance they create, no matter how they try to distract themselves, the bond you share remains within them. You are, in a very real sense, a part of them. And that's something they're beginning to see with clarity. Your energy reflects back to them the parts of themselves they may have avoided for a long time. And that kind of mirror can be intense. It can push them to the edge, to moments of impulsivity or fear-based decisions. But recently, something or someone intervened. They've been offered a moment of clarity, a sacred pause that's helping them recenter and rethink their approach. They're starting to understand that their past actions, even if well-intentioned, didn't fully honor what this connection truly is. And now, they're beginning to rise into a more mature version of themselves, one that can hold this love with more integrity and grace. This marks a turning point in your journey together. Your person is starting to unlock new truths, not just about you, but about themselves. You, divine feminine, are not just a reflection of them. You are their counterpart at the soul level. You represent something they've been searching for without even knowing it. And this understanding is beginning to reshape the way they view everything. including their role in this connection. Perhaps, most importantly, you need to know that you deserve something sacred, something real. Your masculine has called you into their life because your soul holds the key to their growth. On a deeper level, they've always known this. The universe didn't bring you together by chance. There's an unmistakable alignment between your energies, one that transcends past relationships and defies logic. Before you met, you both experienced situations where you felt unseen or misunderstood. But in each other, there is a knowing, a recognition that runs deeper than anything that came before. Now your person is beginning to see that they too deserve better, not just in love, but in life. They're starting to realize that if they want to truly honor this connection, they have to first honor themselves. They must let go of outdated beliefs, break free from self-sabotaging patterns, and approach this relationship from a place of emotional and spiritual integrity. They're beginning to understand that love isn't about control or conformity. It's about alignment, trust, and deep understanding. And your energy has been their guide, showing them what real connection feels like. This is a time of powerful transformation, and while it might feel intense or uncertain, it's all happening for a divine reason. The universe is guiding both of you to step into your highest selves and to view this connection through the lens of soul truth. Your person is awakening, and that awakening is going to ripple outward, changing the way they relate to you, to themselves, and to the world around them. And for you, Divine Feminine, this is your reminder that you are worthy of a love that sees you clearly, that respects your energy, and that honors the light you bring. The connection is shifting, deepening, and evolving, and the most beautiful chapters are yet to be written. What exists between you and your person goes far beyond anything physical. It touches the very core of who you both are. No matter how many other connections or relationships you've explored along the way, nothing has come close to carrying the kind of energy you two share. Your masculine feels this on a deep level. They know that no one else has been able to handle or truly understand them the way you do. With you, they feel met, body, heart, mind, and soul. They recognize something in you that mirrors back the deepest parts of themselves. Even during times when their energy confused others or felt too much, you were there, seeing past the noise, into the essence of who they are. You, in your divine feminine energy, offer them a space where they can be real. Your presence allows them to be their truest self, even when they can't fully find the words to express what they feel. You reflect their truth back to them in a way that few others ever could, and there's something powerful, even magnetic, about the harmony you create together. When you're side by side, people notice. There's an energy that surrounds you, something sacred that only you two are truly meant to experience in its fullness. Both of you have had other experiences with different energies, different dynamics, but those experiences only made you realize what you were truly looking for. They made it clear that what you share with each other is rare. You've each navigated through imbalance and confusion, through longing and loss, and those paths eventually led you to this connection that finally feels right. When you're together, there's no denying the charge that builds between you. It's alive, it's undeniable, and it draws everything around you into its orbit. This connection has been a revelation for both of you. It's likely that your coming together happened during a pivotal time, perhaps a moment of change or transition in your lives. It may have felt random, but deep down, it was divinely timed. Your meeting seems to have been written long before you were aware of it. It's as though the universe brought you together to remind you of what you truly deserve. Love that sees you, values you, embraces you in your entirety. This connection shows you that you are worthy of a deeper kind of love, one that honors you on every level. What sets this bond apart is how deeply you understand each other without needing to say much at all. There's a kind of silent knowing that passes between you. Words aren't always necessary because the energy says it all. There's a sacredness to your connection, something that transcends logic or explanation, and though your masculine might not always say it outright, they recognize your divinity. They see you as the embodiment of the divine feminine. Your love, the way you are with them, touches something inside them that reminds them of their own worth. Being in your presence reflects back to them who they truly are at their core. You might sometimes feel misunderstood within this connection. Emotions run deep. Your thoughts and feelings carry so much meaning, and yet it can seem like they don't always grasp the depth of what you're trying to convey. This may lead you to wonder if they're truly receiving your energy, if they're able to feel the power behind what you're silently offering. But what's really happening is that you've been processing your emotions in very different ways, which has created a temporary sense of distance. That gap, however, is starting to close. Your person is beginning to tune into your energy in a more meaningful way. They're beginning to understand what they couldn't see before. There's a desire within them to connect more deeply, to truly know you, not just who you are on the surface, but the layered, intuitive, emotional being that you are beneath it all. They may not have the words for it, and they may not always know how to approach it, but they feel it. They long to understand your world, to grasp the unspoken truths you carry. And this deeper connection is already forming, even if it's subtle. Slowly but surely, they're starting to feel the emotional language you speak through your presence. Your silent cues, your energy, your way of being. It's all beginning to make sense to them. The fog is lifting. They're learning to read between the lines, to listen not just to your voice, but to your energy, your essence. They're beginning to see what's always been there, your depth, your beauty, your soul. You have this beautiful ability to read their energy, to feel what they're not saying. You sense their moods, their shifts, their unspoken fears and desires. It sometimes surprises them just how deeply you know them. But from their perspective, your way of communicating can be mysterious. You express so much without words, and that leaves them reaching for understanding. At times, it even frustrates them because they desperately want to get it right. They want to understand you as completely as you seem to understand them. Yet even in this confusion, there's something magical unfolding. You mirror back to them parts of themselves they haven't fully acknowledged. During times of separation or emotional distance, they feel you still. Because your energy is woven into theirs, you reflect parts of them that they've hidden away, and while that can be confronting, it's also deeply healing. Through you, they're learning to face themselves in ways they never did before. It's awakening them to their own truth. They've faced their share of inner battles, heartbreaks, and growth. And through it all, one thing has become increasingly clear to them: you are divine. They don't need anyone else to confirm that. They feel it in every moment shared with you, in the way your energy lingers in their space, even when you're not around. This knowing isn't based on logic. It's soul deep. You may not even realize the full extent of how your presence moves them. Whether you're in close connection, distant contact, or even silence, they feel you. They recognize your worth, perhaps more than they know how to express. This connection, what it means, what it holds, it's unfolding more each day, and your energy continues to leave an imprint on their heart. Even in their silence, the depth of their feelings remains. Trust that they feel it. Trust that it's real. In the past, they might have approached this connection with caution, trying to manage their emotions from a distance. But something has shifted. They're beginning to see you more clearly than ever before, and what they're seeing is captivating. You draw them in, not just with your appearance, but with the totality of your being. Your essence has a gravity that they simply can't resist. The word that seems to echo through their mind when they think of you is alluring. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, energetically. Your allure goes far beyond surface-level attraction. It's in your thoughts, your heart, your energy. You hold a power that seduces not just their body, but their soul. And it's not because you're trying. It's because you're simply being your authentic self. There's something undeniably rare and radiant about your presence. You carry this unique light that leaves a lasting impression. You, as the divine feminine energy in this connection, hold so much strength, so much magnetism. Your presence is healing, loving, and at the same time, powerful. The more you embrace this truth within you, the more it ripples out, not only uplifting your own life but inspiring transformation in your masculine counterpart as well. This bond you share isn't just about love or attraction, it's about growth, healing, and the expansion of both your souls. When you fully own this balance between tenderness and strength, you awaken something in your masculine that helps them see their own beauty and worth more clearly. Through your love, they're beginning to see themselves differently, not as someone broken or incomplete, but as someone reflected in your eyes with love and reverence. This is helping them recognize the true value of your connection. This bond between you isn't ordinary, it's sacred. Something far greater than either of you seems to be guiding the timing and nature of it all. Even if you don't understand every piece of the journey just yet, know that it is meaningful. Every moment, every lesson, every twist and turn has been leading you towards something deeply aligned with your souls. What you share isn't just love, it's destiny, written in the stars long before you ever met, and it continues to evolve, bringing both of you closer to your highest selves and to each other. There's something unfolding that you may have felt deep within, even if you can't quite see it clearly yet. Although everything might not make perfect sense right now, there's a quiet knowing that a greater force is at work, surrounding your connection with a profound sense of divine protection. This bond between you is being watched over, held gently by something higher than either of you, ensuring that everything happens at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reasons. Right now, it seems your masculine energy is being carefully guided. They are not being allowed to move too fast or make decisions that might throw off the natural rhythm of your connection. It's as if an unseen hand is gently holding them back from rushing into something they are not yet fully ready for, protecting them from choices that could lead to unnecessary pain or regret. This isn't random or coincidental. It's all part of a much bigger plan, one that neither of you can fully grasp just yet. But in time, as things continue to unfold, you'll begin to see how every moment was perfectly aligned to lead you here. Your masculine is going through a deep inner transformation right now. It's not just a shift in thought, it's a true awakening of the soul. They're beginning to feel the immensity of love in a way they never quite have before. What once felt out of reach is now becoming clear. They're starting to recognize the true power of love, how it isn't just an emotion, but a force more powerful than anything they've known. A force that creates, heals, and moves everything forward. Because of this awakening, they've been paused in their steps. Not out of confusion, but to protect the sacred energy between you both. The universe is creating space for alignment, ensuring that nothing disrupts what is meant to be. This isn't a delay meant to frustrate or hold back progress. Rather, it's a divine pause to prepare the way for something far more meaningful. It's about readiness. It's about making sure that when things come together, they come together in the most beautiful, supported, and destined way. As this journey continues and your masculine begins to understand the vastness of love and connection, it becomes clear that this union isn't something fleeting. It's not just a passing chapter, it's a sacred bond, deeply protected by divine energy. It will continue to evolve in powerful and beautiful ways, revealing more depth as time goes on. There's nothing random about what you share. It's unfolding with divine precision, and what's meant for you will arrive when the moment is right, more extraordinary than anything you could have imagined. This connection has always been about something greater. The masculine energy within this union was created with intention, destined to meet its match in a feminine energy of equal strength and depth. This bond transcends the ordinary. If you've ever questioned whether what you feel is something more, the answer is yes, unequivocally, undeniably yes. What you share was never just chance. It was divinely orchestrated from the very beginning, not just for love's sake, but to create something meaningful, something with purpose. Your masculine is in the midst of a profound transformation. They're learning to soften, to let their heart lead, and to see life through the lens of love. And it's only through this lens that they'll be able to make the choices that are truly right for them. Choices that reflect their deepest truth. They're shedding old patterns, fear, doubt, emotional walls, and allowing space for real vulnerability. This path isn't always easy, but it's necessary. Because this awakening will lead them to the core of who they are, and ultimately to the truth of what they seek in you. What exists between you isn't just chemistry or fleeting emotion. It's something much deeper. It's the energy of two souls drawn together by a cosmic force. You complement one another in ways that defy logic. It's as if the universe itself is constantly pulling you toward each other, making sure your paths cross again and again, no matter how far apart you may drift. When your masculine begins to stray or lose sight of what truly matters, that divine force gently redirects them, bringing them back to you, back to where they belong. And in those moments, it may feel like you don't need to do anything to keep the connection alive. That's because there's a sacred energy already holding it all together, guiding your masculine back home to you. There is divine protection woven into the very fabric of this bond, something that goes beyond what the human mind can fully grasp. When things feel like they might fall apart, when words are left unsaid or choices are about to be made that could break what you've built, the universe intervenes. It steps in with quiet strength and ensures that what is meant to survive, survives. Your masculine is beginning to feel this protection more clearly now than ever before. They're waking up to the truth that what the two of you share is unlike anything else. It's not just the love you give each other in this lifetime. It's the way the universe seems to shift in favor of your connection. That realization is hitting them with full force. They're seeing that when it comes to you, the universe doesn't stay silent. It speaks, it warns, it reroutes them when they drift too far off course, and they are paying attention now in ways they never have before. They've had moments, those sudden, undeniable signs that make them pause, moments when something tells them, this isn't the right choice, or turn around, go back. And each time they listen, something inside them softens. They realize they're not alone in this, that their choices are being influenced not only by their own desires, but by a higher wisdom that knows what's best for them and what's best for the connection. More and more, they're understanding that this isn't just about love in the romantic sense. It's about the sacred journey you're on together. They're seeing how every step, every twist and turn has been shaped by a divine force. This realization is leading them into a higher awareness, one where love becomes the compass, guiding every choice, every thought, every action. And from this place of awareness, a new chapter can begin. One where the love you share is honored more deeply than ever before, and where the full purpose of your connection begins to bloom. What you're both stepping into is not just a relationship, it's a spiritual partnership, rooted in truth and guided by divine hands. Trust this process. Trust the pauses, the delays, the detours, because behind it all is a love that is sacred, protected, and destined. And when the timing is right, it will unfold in ways that will take your breath away. If you feel aligned with this message and it resonates in your heart, your support means the world to us. A simple gesture like a super thanks can help us continue to share uplifting messages like this. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more spiritual insights, encouragement, and reminders that you are not alone on this journey. We're so grateful to walk this path with you.